All right, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So I have to give props where props are due, and honestly, I saw Beyonce's Coachella performance, and that had to be one of the best concerts I've seen in a really, really long time. I just have an appreciation for artists who really set their own bar and push an envelope that they built for themselves. Like Beyonce continues to push her own envelope and set her standard even higher each and every time when it comes to her being a live performer. If you saw the show, you'd understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the show, go out, go check it out. I mean, really watch it. Don't just grab it on your phone and kind of skip through or skim through it on your laptop. You got to do the whole thing. You got to sync your phone to the TV, put it on the big screen, turn your surround sound on, dim the lights, and pretend you're there. Literally, that's what I did when I watched it. Mind you, it was 2 in the morning, so I needed to really do this whole thing if I was going to watch a show at 2 in the morning. So in my head, I was in the third row. It was crowded too. There was somebody. Dude had his girlfriend sit on the shoulders. Her leg kept kicking mine. The person on the other side was musty. It was a lot going on, but it was a good show. I had to pretend I was there. And I just have to say the show was just really, there's so many good things that came out of that show that I saw. Everything from the band to the set list to really what Beyonce did with this. This was pretty much a theater production on a concert stage. It was like Broadway. Well, it was just big. It was huge. Not big and huge as far as smoke and mirrors and distractions, but everything was cohesive and everything worked together. It worked out perfectly, and the show didn't come off as mechanical. Because sometimes I think when artists have these big, giant productions, that's always been my critique about a lot of the K-pop artists, is that even though they can dance and they can sing, they come off so mechanical that you're just kind of I guess. But there was so much good that I saw out of the show. And the thing that I'll say with Beyonce, like I said, she sets her bar even higher. At this stage in Beyonce's career, Beyonce's 36, 37, maybe 38. She could slack off if she wants to. She's sold the records she's needed to sell. She's sold out the tours she needs to sell out. She's gotten the hits she needs to get. She's done what she needs to do to seal her legacy as an entertainer. But she doesn't slack off. She continues to push herself even further. What I saw tonight was not somebody who's 38 or 37 or however old she is. In my head, as I watched her, I felt like I was watching a 20-year-old who was hungry to really just get their foot in the door in the industry. When you're 20 or you're 19 or you're 18 and maybe you're trying to do music or you're trying to do film or you're trying to get into sports or whatever it is you're getting into, even if it's just in the 9-to-5 corporate world, that's when you have all the energy in the world. That's what you're hungry for. You're willing to push the boundaries. You're willing to go above the limits, do the backflips, do any and everything to make it happen for yourself. And as I was watching this performance, I still see that in her. And mind you, she's not 20 anymore. She's 20 years into the game, but she's not 20 anymore. A lot of artists start falling off at this point, and she's continued to really push herself. And so I have a really great respect for her as a performer and everything that she does. But as far as the show, the set list was really good. I like that she tried to give a balance. She gave you some of the classic hits. She gave you a lot of the newer stuff. She gave you some of the ratchet stuff that everybody likes to party to. There was a little bit of everything in the set list. The band, in my opinion, is the highlight of the show. As far as the musicality, yes, gas it up. But I really like that she had the whole HBCU theme. She had the whole giant marching band. Because just listening to that band just gave me flashbacks to being at Howard. It gave me flashbacks to being at Drew Hall, having to hear the marching band practice and perform before all the football games at 1 and 2 in the morning. I mean, at the time, it was annoying. It was cool the first 2 or 3 times. And then, you got to study and you got an exam at 8 a.m. and it's 2 in the morning. And they still got the brass instruments and the drum line going. You look, you're killing me. But it just gave, it was a nostalgia. Dang, that took me back to good times. But, the band, they were just, it was really on point. And I didn't realize they were going to be the band for the full show. I thought the marching band and, the I don't know, I can't remember the term you call the dancers that dance with the band. But I thought that was only going to be for, the first few songs. And then they would move the stairs out the way and then, it would turn into a different kind of show. No, they were the core of the show, the bread and butter. And they built the show around that. And I thought that was really dope. She included 100 people into the show. And it worked. I liked everything from the messaging. There was lots of empowerment, lots of celebration of blackness, empowerment of black women, assertiveness within the community. There was Malcolm X quotes, and Brother Malcolm I'm down with. So I was just this is really, really dope, Beyonce. And the thing about it, the stage was still a big stage. It still had, the smoke and mirrors, but really the production was pretty simple, which I appreciate. The same thing I said when I saw I don't even know, Janet's concert. When I saw Janet's show, I said one thing I always like about Janet is she doesn't really do a lot of big production, and it's really just her, the dancers, and the band, and so you really just get her and her element, and you see the rawness. And Beyonce kind of gave that today. Beyonce's had, the really great production, the really great all that, but really, you could have taken that away, and really the show in itself was just that strong. Like, it really wasn't a whole lot of smoke and mirrors. And the thing about it is, smoke and mirrors, even when Beyonce uses smoke and mirrors, you're not distracted because your eyes are still on her. And so she killed it. Yeah, I feel like you got a really raw element of Beyonce where it was like she took you on a journey. This show was like some Broadway theater production. Like, there was a theme. I felt like the songs, the way that they chronologically flowed into each other, like there was some effort and thought put into the show. It wasn't just some BS thrown together. You know, she could have half-stepped and said, well, I know I was supposed to do this mess last year. Let me go ahead and give y'all a makeup show. Here you go. Here, let's go on and do Crazy in Love the same way we've done it the last 20 years, and let's go home. No, she really just, she rearranged so much stuff, and it was just dope. And as a performer, you've seen the growth. Like, I remember I went to the Miss Carter tour a few years ago. And I mean, it was a cool show. But watching this, I'm like, this is like a totally different show. And it's not saying one show's better than the other, but it's saying that Beyonce knows what her formula is, and she sticks with her formula, but then she evolves it. And she continues to add things and take away things and test the waters. Like, this was real left field in comparison to a lot of her other shows. And I just have to say, it was really well put together. I think they did an excellent job. Everybody who was involved, this was the perfect show. Like, this is one of those performances that will seal her legacy as a live performer. And she will definitely go down as one of the greatest live performers, whether you like her or not. Like, that's the thing about Beyonce. Whether you like her or not, you have to respect what she does on the stage. Okay? It's pretty much my 2 cents on it. And you know what I also wish? I really hope some of these award show executives saw this stuff, because this is the standard that people want to see when they watch award show performances. The reason why these award shows continue to get terrible ratings is because the performances from a lot of the entertainers who perform just are trash. Like, literally, I think if you follow me, you know I always critique a lot of the award shows and do my reviews. And I think the only 2 award shows that I don't really bash are like the Soul Train Awards, because 1, everybody can actually sing. But 2, I think the 2016 BET Awards, I really gassed up because that entire show was just a straight Prince tribute. So there wasn't really any kind of way to mess that up. They had that together. But, you know, I think these award show executives need to look at that. That's the standard. That's what people want to see. That's what will make somebody sit and watch an award show for 3 hours, if that's what you're going to be getting. You know what I mean? And I just also hope that people continue to support music. You know, Beyonce has been able to get to where she is now because she's had people that have always supported her. You know, the thing that works in Beyonce's favor is people love the brand that she has as a performer. Even if you don't like her music, if you don't buy her albums, when she comes to town, most likely you're going to be probably going, if you somewhat have an appreciation for music, or at least live performances, because she's built a brand around being a great performer. She's studied her craft, and that's what she shines in my opinion. I think that's where she's the best at, is her performances. But as far as the supporting the music, in order for her to get to where she is now, as far as having a 100-piece band and having a caliber where she can do the things that she does on stage, people bought those albums back in the day. People supported her. People, you know, they did whatever they did, and the investment came back, and you got your return. And so I think we have to do the same with some of these newer artists in order for them to get to that same caliber. I'm not saying support artists who suck, but I'm saying those artists who are actually good, who can actually sing, who are great writers, who are great composers, who are great visual performers. You know, really try to support those artists who are trying to climb. You know what I mean? I think the good thing about Beyonce is that Beyonce has opened a lane for new entertainers who are coming in, just like the entertainers before her opened lanes for her. And so now that the new lanes are open, the only issue is that the industry's changed. You know, this whole streaming thing is really, in my opinion, kind of messing up how people value music, because I feel like people don't really value music anymore. It's so available to us that we can just take it or leave it. You know, music isn't a movement anymore. And I think the only artist in this current era where their music is like a movement is probably Drake and Beyonce. But anyway, really great show, Beyonce. Oh, I like that Destiny's Child was there. You know, Michelle's like one of my favorite people in the world for some reason. Me and her, I feel like we got similar personalities. I don't know. But that was really cool. It would have been kind of cool to see the additional 2 members, Latavia and LaToya, be there as well. We don't know who Farrah is, but it would have been cool to see them as well. But it is what it is. Also, listen, Jay-Z, if what Beyonce did tonight is any indication of what's going to happen on the On the Run tour, I hope you are trying to at least learn how to do the moonwalk or something, because if you're going to have the crowd that hype when Beyonce's on stage and then she goes off and then you come on doing whatever you do, you got to step it up. Because Jay-Z came out winded and huffing and puffing to do his one verse, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now, Beyonce been dancing and doing backflips and head spins for the last hour and a half. I don't know where you came from, but how are you coming on stage out of breath to do one verse? Come on, man. Anyway, we'll see. Now I gotta actually get some On the Run tour tickets. You know, like I'm gonna be broke spending all the money on all these concerts. Like, I got my little Essence Festival concert ready and all these other different shows. I ain't gonna have no money. But anyway, Watch the show. Share your 2 cents. I'm out. Subscribe.